is up? Man, Christmas was awesome. Super pumped for today's Chitty Chat. Momentum Monday, number 18 weeks. It's pretty bomb. Pretty good if you don't ask myself. Anyway, give you guys like 15, 20 seconds to get on so that way we are good to go. Super pumped for today. Today we're going to go over some things you're probably experiencing right now when it comes to, oh my gosh, did I completely screw up? Did I do something with my nutrition? It's going to make it so impossible for me to do. Did I mess up weeks and weeks of progress? Because the scale says I'm up X amount of pounds and I lost, that takes me, 2 weeks to do blah, 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 blah. We're going to go over that today so that we can get rid of some fear, but also show you the reality of it. Because here's the deal. Can a day mess up your week? Yeah, it absolutely could. It could make it very, very challenging. Can a day mess up 2 weeks? Yeah, it's true. It totally can. And if somebody says otherwise, they probably don't know math. But the reality is that did you do that? Probably not. Probably not. You probably didn't do that. So we're going to go over exactly those step-by-step things so you get an idea, break it down into as simple terms as I possibly can. And of course, if you have any questions, please just comment down below and I'll get to them as soon as I can. I turn the comments off for me to see on this, but I'll get to them as soon as this is done when I can so that we're all clear and that we can go over everything. So with that being said, let's go right into the process here. Okay. Episode 18, how one day won't mess you up, but how it potentially could. First, before we get into that, type your weekly wins down below. I'm going to get a sip. I'm feeling mighty thirsty today. Get a sip. Type those weekly wins down below. I would say my win was over Christmas. I left and came back while enjoying enchiladas, a couple Trulies, what else? Christmas cookies, candy, all those things. I went there and came back weighing the exact same weight to the point, which is phenomenal. Way better than I thought I was going to do. So that's great. I didn't have a scale. I didn't bring my scale with us. Came back and was like, dang, that's pretty legit. So type down your win down below so that we're all good to go and you can see this. Now, alert, we have a contest that starts on Monday. I talked about it a little bit last week, but we're going to go into it now. I'm going to go into the deets of it so that we are all super duper clear with how things are going down. Let me hurry and share the page. I forget. I need to move this. I had this set up when I was doing the workout videos. It got all on there. Now, on your app, it's going to look a little bit different, okay? But on this is what it looks like on the computer. Okay, it is how you can win a $100 gift card to the supplement shop. It's a 6-week New Year, New You contest. Okay, workout equipment, custom bottle, and potentially win a lunch, lift, and learn with Chris. Something I've never done before. And this is the stuff that I'm going to be teaching in that lunch, lift, and learn with me is something that I have not taught anybody outside of people that have spent at least $7,000 in the program. And that's multiple years of time, or in my highest level coaching program, $7,000 for what is that? 9 months time. So this is some pretty valuable stuff that when used properly, not only is going to make you keep weight off, lose weight, and all those things, but more importantly, it's going to make everything in your life just way better. We're going to go over how to find blind spots. Blind spots are literally things that you don't know exist that you have that you can find that are going to slow you down 6, 7, 8 months from now. You don't even realize. It's insanity. And there's a way for you to find them. It's just going over the how to find them, which is sick. And we're going to go over that then. And this is for people even that are not around us. So if you're not in Arizona, don't think, if I do that, I'm not going to miss out. No, we're going to find a way to get you in. Okay, we're going to do something. We'll figure it out together. Okay. So with that being said, here's how you can play this game. There's 2 ways that you can win. One is I'm going to get you guys set up in teams. You'll know by the 30th your team. I'm going to get all of you guys in a Facebook Messenger group so you know who's on your team. Okay, so that way we're clear. Each team is going to have somebody. I'm just going to pick a name, pick somebody, and they're going to be the person that's going to keep track of the points. Okay, they're going to be like not the leader, just the liaison. I'm going to find people that are like really point driven. So Lindsay Teller, you're probably going to be one of them. Okay, it's not a lot of stuff. Okay, but they're just going to have people, hey, at the end of the week, just relay the info to you so we know what's going on. Okay, now there's two ways that you can win potentially. Okay, there's a way that everybody can win the lunch, lift, and learn in the program, which is sick. Every single one of you. There's first way though is if your team's of 7. Okay, you're going to have 4 ways to earn points. Way number 1 is with steps. Okay, as you can see, for every 1,000 steps, for 5,000 steps, it's 1 point. Anything below that doesn't count as a point. You have to screenshot your watch, okay, and post it in the Facebook group. That way we know you got the point. Number 2 is if you step 7.5K steps. Number 3 is 10,000 steps. That's how you get it. So you get 3 points, okay, for 10,000 steps. Next one, workout. Once you get a sweaty selfie, you get 1 point for posting a sweaty selfie in the group. Water jug, okay, half of your body weight in ounces. Honor system, okay, so you're going to take a picture of the jug. You can post all of this too at the end of the day if you'd wish, so that we're all clear on how much you did, what you got done. Last one, meditation. Okay, you're going to screenshot your finished meditation. Okay, you're going to download an app called Soothing Pots from the App Store. Okay, I believe it's on Android as well. If it's not, one of you are going to have to let me know that it's not on Android, and I'll find one for you to do so that we can see, hey, you actually did the meditation. Now, Soothing Pots is a guided meditation, but there's some that are less guided. So guided means it's going to walk you through. The person's going to tell you things to think, whatever. If you've never done guided meditation or meditation in general, guided is the way to go to start. But then there's less guided for those advanced or just don't want to have somebody talking to them. Each of these meditations is between 3 and 11 minutes long. So you have to do a new one every single, for the week. You cannot repeat one of them. So there's only like 3 or 4 that are 3 minutes long. So the other ones you have to make, not find, make more time for to get all the points so that you get the most points possible. The team with the most points at the end wins. Pretty simple. Okay, that's option 1. Number 2, this is where you're going to get the lunch, the learn, and the lift. Okay, or the lift, lunch, and learn. This is how you're going to get extra credit. This one is if when your team hits 200 points combined, you get the lift, lunch, and learn. What that is you get 10 points per each intro made for the introduction form, either on Facebook Messenger with me, and the person that you would like to introduce to the program, or the referral link at the very top of the menu. You'll see the little referral link up here. It says referral form. You're going to click that and be able to refer your friend there. It's 10 points for each referral, and you get 20 points for a video testimonial. What I'll do is you'll see the script in the Facebook group just to follow, just to answer a couple questions. That way it's like nice and linear. It's not, I'm not going to put words into your mouth what to say. I'm just going to say, hey, these are typical questions somebody would ask about the program. And if you can answer them in an honest way, that would be fantastic. Okay. So you get 20 points per those. So if you have 7 of your people doing that, you're already almost there. Pretty freaking sweet. Okay. And so, or just making intros again. And if they join the program, you're still getting the referral gift on top of the extra credit, and potentially you could win this as well. Plus, I'm still donating size 2 shoes to the Save Our Allies group, which is phenomenal. Okay, so they're going to get shoes. The kids are. You're going to get a referral gift when they join. Also, your team is going to get more points so that you can get the extra credit lunch, lift, and learn with me that I've never done ever. I've ran a gym for 12 years. I have people that are in this group that aren't clients that are part of my gym that would attest to saying, hey, I've never done something like this before. And so it's something awesome that I really wanted to do for this year in 2022, because the training that I'm going to go into for this, I'm telling you, it's life-changing stuff. It's life-changing stuff. I've spent easily $20,000 learning it. I literally only teach it to people that give me at least 7 for the coaching program that's involved in. So I promise you, you do not want to miss this thing. Cool? That is the contest. It's going to start next Monday. So start thinking of some people that you'd like to introduce to the program so that they can get going. And by the way, introductions from today on will absolutely count towards it. So if you know anybody, hey, you get ahead of the game, get some points in for your group. Makes sense? If that makes sense, type makes sense down below. So we are all clear. next. Let me go back to the PowerPoint because there's a couple of things we're doing, and I swear we're going to get into the coaching. Today, coaching's quick, but I want to go over this stuff with you because it's important. It's importante. All right. Whoopsie. Number 2, putting the finishing touches on the recipe books today. They will be done this week. I got to do the calculations. I had my admin put things together, but she doesn't know the math. So I'm going to do that today. And Saturday workouts, just a reminder, resuming next Saturday, 9 a.m. Not this Saturday, but the next one. Okay. And lastly, I'm going to be out of office 31 through 2. Okay. So that's this Friday through Sunday because for Christmas, I got tickets to Disneyland. Yeah. My wife put like one of my presents were like masks with Disney stuff on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like there's not many places I'd be willing to do that with. You know what I mean? Like I'm so careful and all that stuff, all that good shit, right? But I'm like, there's not many places I'd be willing to do that. And I looked at her like this. I'm like, no way. She's like, yeah. I'm like, when? She's like, next week. I'm like, what? So super pumped. So we'll be going there. So we're going to spend some much needed New Year's Eve time together. And then the first I'll be at Disneyland. I will not be on my phone at all. And then the second we drive home. So that way get a refresh, recover, get ready for school, start with my kids, all that stuff. So we'll be back in office on the 3rd when this bad boy starts. Cool. That being said, let's get after it, guys. Here's how to absolutely screw up your progress and how it probably isn't what you did on Friday night, but it could have been. Okay, because I don't really know. But here's what it is. So you get a really clear, cut and dry way to understand how this game really plays. Because what I see far often than not, even today, I won't say who, somebody came in today, they're really upset. They're like, there's no way there's no way I did well. I feel bloated. I feel like I screwed up my entire progress this past 4 weeks. And there's no way that I did it. Came in here, they're down like 2 inches from their waist, almost 2 inches from their hips. Thighs are down. Chest is relatively the same. Waist is down. It's like, it's not what you think it is, right? A day or 2 days of not being perfect is not going to completely screw things up. Even a day or 2 days of just eating foods you enjoy, just less of them, is not going to screw things up. Okay, so I made this as easy as possible. And so I'm going to go through this nice and slow. Follow with me. Again, if you have any questions, I turn the comments off on my end so I don't get sidetracked, and so I make this training under 30 minutes so it's palatable and you can actually get through it. So when you do have questions, still comment them down below as you get them, and then I'll answer them when I can. But I want you to think of this sort of fat loss, losing weight, progress thing like a farmer picking corn in their silo. Okay, so corn, obviously is corn. Farmer, silo is the thing they put all the extra food in that kind of just sits there. And so the corn is obviously food that you consume. You are the farmer, and fat is the silo, right? The extra. That's where we're going to put that. So not needing to worry about numbers, calories, any of those things. Okay, let's just ignore all that and just follow me at this. You, the farmer, requires 2 corn per day. Okay, requires 2. To run, to live, to literally be exactly the same. Requires 2. But if the farmer picks 3 corns, what does the farmer do? The farmer puts this corn in this giant silo. Okay. 2 corns are eaten. 1 corn is put in the silo. Let's say the next day, same thing. 2 corns. Now there's 2 in the silo because 1 was from yesterday and 1 was from today. Okay. And then the next day, again, 3. The next day, 4. Right? And then it keeps going on and on and on and on. Okay. Because he's a smart farmer. Okay. Again, we're going on actual farming stuff, and then we'll go back and how this is relevant to fat loss and things. Because he's a smart farmer, he knows, or she knows, whoever, freaking farmers know, that winter comes. And in winter, corn and his food cannot grow. Crap. What do you do when you cannot grow food? He's like, oh, crap, what am I going to do? Oh, wait a second. I have that giant freaking silo full of corn, and I need 2 each day to live. So I'm going to eat 2 on day 1, 2 on day 2, 2 on day 3, what have you, yada, 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 until the freaking end of time, whatever. Make sense? And so, 1 second, let me go back here. Start back at this. So when we go here, right, if you eat 2 corns and you're maintaining your weight, or if you eat the amount of food, if you eat 3 units of food, okay, 1 of them is going to go to fat, and 2 of them are what's required to live every day. When we do the scans, when we do your Fit3D scan, or if you haven't done that here, it's a machine that I have that shows your body fat percentage, your lean mass, how many calories you burn, all that stuff. If you haven't done one, it's no big deal. I can still do the math over my head, and that's why tracking your food, doing those things is really important, so we get an idea of what numbers to hit. Okay, but if every day you eat a little bit more than what you burn, you're going to store it as fat. That's how it works, right? That's literally, legitimately how it works. Regardless of if it's protein, it's a little bit harder for that, but your body can still do it. Protein, fat, carbs, whatever. Okay, vegetables are carbohydrates and fats and proteins at the same time. All of them are, or most of them are. So when that happens over the course of time, you gain weight, very simply. Okay, you gain fat. And that silo is a symbolism of just fat gain over time, whatever it looks like. Even if you eat just a little bit over and over and over every single day, you're going to continue to gain fat. Even if it's 50 calories or 100 calories, you're going to gain fat every single day, regardless. Okay. So what tends to happen, though, when it starts getting to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm totally screwing up, is when you have one day where you eat a bunch. You eat a whole bunch, and you're like, oh no, I only required 2. And now I have 3 in there. I just gained so much. I overate way too much. But then all we do is just eat a little bit less. And this is not what we do. This is what you would do if you're eating maintenance level, is you just eat a little bit less and then take a little bit from the silo, aka your fat. And then you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you're good. Then you're back to where you were before. And it literally is that simple, right? Even this, look at this. This is 2.5 times what is required for Farmer Joe or whoever to eat. 2.5 times. And look at this. Over 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, back to normal. Pretty sick, right? So does that mean it completely screws things up? No. If you eat a little bit over, like on Halloween or Christmas or Thanksgiving, and your weight skyrockets, oh my gosh, I gained so much. Did you eat 2.5 times what you burn each day? Even for some of you, that includes, by the way, that doesn't include basal metabolic rate. That's like what's required for your body to run with nothing. That doesn't include every step that you take. That doesn't include the amount of energy is required to break down the food that you eat. That doesn't include your workouts. None of that. Doesn't require any. That doesn't include any of that. So you would have to eat a lot to really screw up your week, but you could. Okay, here's exactly how. I should say, not a big deal. Literally, not a big deal. So here's what typically happens, though. Have one day that's really big. And then somebody would eat, this isn't you, but somebody would eat maintenance level. And they'd eat maintenance level again. Notice, the corn in that silo has not been touched because day 1, overeat. Day 2, eat maintenance level. By the way, we don't eat maintenance level in fat loss mode. We don't do it. Since the beginning of the program, you haven't eaten maintenance level. That's why you're losing weight, right? So, losing fat, I should say. So, maintenance level. Farmer Joe's eaten 2, hasn't touched the freaking silo. Day 3, ate 2 again, didn't touch the silo. Day 4, all right, I'm going to eat a little bit less, touch the silo a little bit because it's Friday and I'm about to go out with my boys and we're going to have a couple beers. All right, ate 2, still didn't touch the silo, only touched the silo once. And then watch this. Ate 4, crap, didn't touch the silo and overate. Now on day 7, look at, there's a bunch in there. A bunch. And then on day 8, ate a little bit less, but still there's 3. So each of these things, right, what typically tends to happen when somebody, maybe even you in this program, where you're like, I don't eat terribly, I'll have a couple of things every once in a while, is that you would go big eat at whatever point, pick a day, overeat one day, eat normal, eat a little bit less, and then eat a bunch. And then normal, eat a bit less, bunch. And this is legitimately, I should say, never really gets back down because it's just continually never hacking away at it. And it's a slow process to get to that point where it's literally not touching that silo, AKA you're not tapping into the fat because you're eating enough food to maintain your weight. And it feels like overnight. It's like I talk to people all the time where it's like, I felt like as soon as, it was like from the beginning of the year to now, I'm up like 40 pounds. And it felt like it would just happen in the last month. It didn't, though. It just kept snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. And just finally realized it this past month. It's just legitimately how it happens. And this is from literally 3 years ago. This story, I made a video on Facebook, and I accidentally came across how is it that adults in general, the average American gains, I believe it was like 12 pounds a year. And it's legitimately Monday, doing well on their plan. I just pick random numbers. 1,700 and 1,200, 1,700, 1,200, 1,700, 1,200, 1,700, 1,200. You're in a big deficit. Woo! You're coming into a big calorie deficit here. 1,400. That's almost half a pound of fat gone. It's pretty good. Okay. A third of a pound. Sorry. It's 3,500 calories. So yeah, I guess it is closer to a third of a pound. Okay. But on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, overeat. They overeat so much that they erased what happened during the week. Because if you are in the hole, if you take 1,400 carrots out of that silo, but put 1,700 in because you overate, you're adding in 300 new carrots every single week. You do that over the course of a year. That is 300 times 52, which is 15,000 carrots, aka we'll call it calories, over 1,560 divided by 3,500. That's how many pounds? That's 5 pounds a year. So over the course of a decade, freaking 50 pounds. What do you know? And that's by eating good, eating good, eating good, eating good, weekend screwing you. Eating good, eating good, eating good, eating good, weekend screwing you. So it's not the day. It is the other stuff. It's legitimately having it to where there's days upon days upon days that we're overeating on our stuff. Now the question becomes, how do we not let that happen? How do we make this not happen? Well, if you are, we'll call you, the person watching this, Farmer Joe, okay? We already have, over the course of years, however many years it's been, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, whatever, we've already been adding corn to that silo. And all we got to do over the course of a week is do more better, like better, than we do bad. That's it. We just need to keep the scale tipped in the direction that says, hey, I'm taking away more corn from this silo than I'm putting in. And the only way to do that with 100% surety and reassurance is to track your food. Everything that goes in your mouth, you track it. Because how else do we know that Farmer Joe or you or whatever is truly hitting your stuff if we cannot look and see? It's impossible. It's guessing game. And that sucks. That makes it really challenging. To the lady this morning, she's like, I didn't do good. I feel terrible. I ate so much, my sides felt bruised. It was, oh my gosh, it's so bad. Yeah, she's lost over 2 inches from her waist, almost 2 inches from her hips in a month. Sounds like it's really tipped in the other way, but it's left for guess on the times when we're doing bad, when we're really not doing bad. Does that make sense? Comment below if that makes sense. Okay. And so how do we know? A couple other things to think about, questions you might be having, because again, it's shut off. So I want to make sure I get all your questions answered. A couple things you might want to consider too is, how do we know how much we're supposed to eat? Well, I teach you that in phase 4, right? There's certain things, just like in math and in school and stuff, that like, hey, there's things you can know now, but it's not really going to serve you now until we get this other thing done, right? Like you can't go from learning how to write numbers to long division, you have to figure out addition first and then subtraction. And then you still have to figure out that addition is subtraction and subtraction can be addition at the same time, which is crazy. And then you got to go to multiplication, right? And then know that there's like negative numbers in general and all that stuff. And then you have to go to long division, right? Division and then long division and then exponentials and square roots and all this other crazy stuff. So there's certain points in time you're going to learn that. I promise you, make it a phase 4 and you'll learn exactly how to do it. Exactly. To the T. Like people have graduated the program. They are continuing to maintain their weight and lose more if they had to. It's just a matter of getting there. And so understand that the targets you have are putting you in a position that we talk about to get you to your goal. And at some points at some points, legitimately, you are putting corn in that silo to gain some fat because it's going to require you to to make some muscle, right? And so Farmer Joe, just like you, requires 2 corns to run a day. If you eat 3 corns, you're gaining fat. But if we make it to where your body requires 3 to run, when you eat 2, you lose weight. It's pretty cool. If you require 4, you can then eat 3. Things that would make you gain weight before are now making you lose weight. It's pretty insane. It's pretty cool how that works, okay? Because that's how it does work. Make sense? So, moral of the story here, okay? Track all your stuff. That way we can look and see. It's probably not as bad as you think it is. I can tell you honestly, the people that I've seen that's like, oh, I did terrible, back to their goal, they're back to their weight before Christmas, typically within the first like 3 or 4 days. It's a bunch of inflammation, and your weight's a poor indicator of that. Okay, your weight can go up a lot. Somebody went up 2 pounds overnight and then lost 3 pounds the next day. It's all over the place, especially if you're a woman. Man, you got hormones, you got all sorts of stuff where your weight does this. Your fat will always do this. It will always be consistent. It is very, very, very clear how you lose and gain fat. It is very, very clear. Weight, all over the place, freaking everywhere, which is why weight is a good indicator over a big period of time, like a week, 10 days, week to week, not day to day. Day to day is going to mess with your head. Week to week is going to give you a really good picture. Am I trending down? Am I going up? Am I maintaining? Am I all over the place? Like if I look from Monday to Monday, you're down 3, but Tuesday to Tuesday, you're up 2, and Wednesday to Wednesday, you're down 1. I'm like, man, you are freaking all over. That is inconsistency, big time. So there's that. Now, if this stuff makes sense, again, comment makes sense down below. If it does not make sense, type down in the comments, and I'll get to it, what part of it that you're not sure about so that I can message you directly. There's no question here. I think it's dumb. Some people get it and some people don't, and that's fine. Whenever I talk to my coach, I legitimately, every time I talk to him, he teaches me something. I say, hey, just to make sure I get this clear, is this what you're talking about? Kind of like this. I say to my own words. And if he says no, I'm like, cool. Let me know what it is. Like, where am I missing? And if he's like, yeah, I'm like, perfect. I got it. Because there's certain things, like with the coach I have that does mindset stuff, or the coach that I have that's helped me build the referral program, the coach that I've had for lifestyle and for business and things. There's certain things that like you have to have down. This is one of them. You have to understand that eating a little bit over what you burn is not going to kill you, and it takes a second to get back. And eating less than what you were a year ago is still progress, right? But quitting, like not understanding how to play Crazy Train by Ozzy is not going to ruin your life. But not understanding how fitness and nutrition work on the real can and will for sure. That would suck. So with that being said, have a fantastic freaking day. I hope you had a great Christmas. Type down below in the comments something that you learned from this so that we can get the biggest takeaway